And what we have here in front of us is the Generation 3. It is the newest version of the MAG-200 dust collector. And we'll talk about some of the accessories for it, as well as its own internal features. Let's talk about how the MAG-200 functions as a dust collector. We'll begin at where the air enters the unit. So the air is drawn in through this inlet on top of the machine. And noting that, we have made a nice design with this inlet that there are 4 screws that you can remove and choose different inlet sizes. We have a 2.5, a 3-inch, and what's installed on this MAG-200 is a 4-inch. Now, what's important to note about that is if your application already has a port for one of these sizes, you can very easily choose that port and you're off and running with the dust collector. But if you're most concerned about performance, the larger the inlet, the greater the CFM. The 4-inch inlet is 400 CFM at the inlet. That's not the free air specification, that is 400 CFM at this port. Now, once the air enters the inlet, it's being drawn into the machine. This cavity is where this large 10-inch impeller that we manufacture here at Magna-Matic is inside of the unit. It is driven by a half-horse motor that is running at 3450 RPM, which is inside the body here. As the air enters, it will go over a metal mesh filter, which we'll open that up now and take a look. Let's take off the bottom cover so we can see the internal spark arresting filter. And here you can see the motor and the metal mesh filter. The metal mesh filter is on rails, so that can be removed. That is a cleanable filter that you can simply shake out or blow out. Generally speaking, this filter doesn't need to be replaced unless it gets damaged. So then once the air comes through this metal mesh filter, which is its internal spark arrestor, the heavy particles will fall down into this tray. Everything lighter that's swirling around in the air will go through some louvers here, and we'll let you take a peek at that next. To take a look at where the air exits the main box, getting to the filter stack, we'll have to take the filters out.